Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very much. To my super chat, I cannot do this without you, ladies and gentlemen. Your support is greatly, greatly appreciated. Hit subscribe. We are about 890 subs away from 200,000 subscribers, ladies and gentlemen. Eric, hello. Sir Felix, hello. Indy, hello. Everybody here. Hello, Caroline. Thank you. Insubordinate, hello. Paul Bartlett, hello. We are about 890 subs away, ladies and gentlemen, from 200,000 subscribers. It's because of you. To my new Patreons, by the way, thank you if you want to support my work long term. Thank you so much. Hit subscribe to my super chat if you want to talk about anything. The defamation suit, the $450 million defamation suit against CNN for continuously lying and sensationalizing everything Trump does. And the issue is coordination with the Democratic Party. This is what I've been saying. It's not a matter of the First Amendment protects CNN or anyone. They can go ahead and they can pick a political side if they want. The issue is whether or not, A, they're blatantly lying for a political purpose to harm Trump's chances in 2024, and their reporting is false, but B, is there any coordination with the DNC? I'm not saying there is. Frank, hello. I'm not saying that there is. Daniel, hello. Kristen, hello. I'm not saying that I have any evidence that there's coordination or emails exchanged between Stephen Colbert's staffers or Jimmy Kimmel's producers or CNN producers or MSNBC journalists. There has to be, though, some kind of concerted, coordinated effort. G. Corber, there has to be some kind of concerted effort, because you cannot have the same viewpoint of Trump on almost every single political channel and publication. I can name on my hand maybe 5 or 6 publications, from the Federalist to the New York Post to the Daily Mail, that go against the mainstream narrative, or at least report on events, facts, reality that exists, that isn't contrived or fabricated to make Trump seem like the embodiment of all corruption. The question, however, is, was there any coordinated effort? So you can look, Trump defamation suit accuses CNN of escalating slander against them over fears he will run in 2024. If there is an effort by the Democratic Party, by politicians within the Democratic Party, okay? If there's an effort, a concerted, coordinated effort by politicians within the Democratic Party to conspire or to work to collude with, we heard colluded. If there is an organized, let's say, strategy. Barbie, hello, thank you. If there's an organized strategy between CNN and the Democratic Party in any way, shape, or form, that's a campaign finance violation. The Clinton campaign. Ron, hello. The Clinton campaign. Eric, hello. The Clinton campaign got fined, had to pay the FEC because they purchased the Steele dossier. So did the Democratic Party. That is a campaign finance violation, okay? Fox News, you have only 2 people that really like Trump. Okay, they don't really go after mashed potato brains Joe in the manner that CNN and everybody else go after Trump. They really don't. I mean, CNN and MSNBC and the Washington Post and the New York Times, they're reporting like allegations from books. They are so hard up and so desperate to get anything on Trump that they're reporting information from books. Marta, hello, thank you. They're reporting what a New York Times journalist said in a book. And the way things are written, Trump calls these people losers. That's what, they don't even attribute the comment to anyone. They just state that it exists. They don't have any evidence. Usually you would need a tape recording. Usually you would need some kind of public statement. You would need a public statement saying that, where you can hear Trump saying that his voters are losers, or that people who lost their lives in defense of this country are losers. But that's what that's the epitome of fake, false, phony, fabricated news. It is impossible to explain this. Sean, hello. It is impossible to explain this to a morally superior, highly educated liberal Democrat. It is impossible. Do not, I told you about the stock market. I predicted the stock market crash, and we're seeing that, and it's going to get worse. It went up today, like I said yesterday evening. I said it's completely counterintuitive. It can go back up, and it'll come crashing down far more than what we've seen. But I predicted the stock market crash. I told you Clinton would lose to Trump. I said the whole Trump-Russia thing was complete nonsense. Have I been right about everything? No. But I'm right more often than not. And I'm telling you, do not debate anyone who dislikes Trump within the next, 4 years or 5 years. Nico, hello. Don't debate anyone. I don't care if it's a good-natured, spirited discussion. It will devolve. It will descend into madness. They cannot, look, the people who are so afraid that information will misinform others are the people who spread blatant lies. Getless, hello. Blatant lies. And if you tell them, Trump didn't say that the neo, in Virginia were fine people. He didn't say that. Yes, he did. He said both sides. No, he didn't. He was talking about conservatives, and he literally, he was referring to the conservatives when he stated the words both sides, and he actually specifically condemned the neo, at that on that fateful day. He specifically condemned that. And then all of media, and I remember the hysteria on social media, exactly, Eric, the tribalism is unbelievable. And Eric, you're 100% right. It's absolute tribalism. He did not work with Russia. He was not part of a Kremlin plot to interfere. In fact, there was no interference. I've yet to hear what the interference was. Facebook ads? They can't name a Facebook ad. A day before, the day of, when people were about to anoint Clinton as the first female president, nobody was talking about interference by another country. What they do is they blame their own corruption on a concerted effort by foreign adversaries. That's what a demagogue does. That's the demagoguery. It's not Trump. So, they lie about him all the time. It's just blatant lies. Here, really quickly, before we get to the DNC, okay, a costly retraction for CNN. CNN retracted the story, leaves elite reporting team. 3 journalists leaving CNN after retracted article. This is just Trump retracts story about Russia ties with Trump campaign. A CNN retracts stories. It's like it happened. It's happened all the time. There's always some kind of retraction or update within an article. And it happens all the time. Intercept. Here is the 10 most embarrassing U.S. Mrs. Glenn Greenwald. He's awesome. Okay, he's a wonderful, wonderful journalist. I might not agree with him on everything in terms of politics, but it really doesn't matter. Of course, okay, so right behind the paywall. But you had CNN as a culprit, always spreading lies and nonsense, okay? I mean, you can't have all of media, CNN, MSNBC, The Washington Post, The New York Times, Vanity Fair, Esquire, New Yorker, New York Magazine, The Atlantic, Rolling Stone. You can't have all of media, CBS, and then it filters down to CBS, NBC, and ABC, but they provide a watered-down version of CNN's apoplectic, almost always fabricated coverage of Trump. Okay, it's definitely TDS. It's definitely TDS. And it's like, it's only getting worse because guess what? Credit Suisse shares plunging as much as 10%. Okay, so concerns about Credit Suisse mount after debt slide. So, and here we have Nouriel Roubini, who called 2008. Dr. Doom, Nouriel Roubini, says a debt crisis is already here and hard landing before year end is now the baseline scenario. So the debt crisis is here. You're going to have hedge funds, like I talked about, and you're going to have a whole bunch of margin calls, like I talked about a year ago, and we saw the pension funds. Bank of England had to bail out UK pension funds because interest rates went up too quickly, causing bond prices to decrease too rapidly, and consequently yields to increase too quickly. And because of the type of leverage and investing that these pensions engage in, which is generally safe, the economic landscape changed so rapidly that they were forced to either pay a margin call by selling pensions. They would have had to sell hundreds of billions of dollars in pension funds. Ladies and gentlemen, Kim McGuire, love your videos. Thank you for all you do. Thank you, Kim. Greatly appreciated. I appreciate your support and generosity and the kind words as well. I appreciate that very much. Thank you, Kim. Greatly, greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching. Kim and everybody here, Bank of England had to bail out pension funds because these pension funds they faced margin calls and could have sold hundreds of billions of dollars in people's pensions. I mean, think about that for a second, ladies and gentlemen. Kim McGuire, thank you again, Kim. Greatly appreciated. Thank you. Think about that for a second. And I think it was like trillions of dollars, because what they were saying was, had the pension funds in the UK not been bailed out, the entire British economy could have collapsed. Okay? I haven't read how many hundreds of billions or possibly trillions of dollars that the Bank of England averted in terms of a financial collapse. Okay, I'm just being conservative now, saying if you had these enormous pension funds, these fund managers with UK pensions, you're probably talking about millions of citizens. Their life savings. Think about that for a second. Kim, thank you again. To my super chat. I can't do this without you, people. Thank you so much. Think about that for a second. That's what happened during the Great Depression. And you have FDIC for only a certain amount, a couple $100,000 or so. You don't have FDIC for trillions of dollars. Think about that for a second. And Europe is, very big on pensions and retirement, and more so than we are. Setlick 3, hello. Imagine if the Bank of England had not bailed them out, but imagine if the Bank of England had not pumped trillions upon trillions of dollars into the UK economy like we did in the US. We pumped more money. I mean, the whole thing was a self-induced wound, okay? This was a self-induced wound. So FDIC, you're looking at $250,000 that it covers. It doesn't cover trillions of dollars in pensions. This was all a self-induced wound. We shut down economic activity like a bunch of imbeciles. And pumped trillions of dollars to replicate an economy. And then said, oh, you can go back to work now. And then suddenly goods and services skyrocketed in terms of demand for these goods and services and fossil fuels and oil and gas. And now we're tanking again because there's never been a precedent here. There is no precedent for this. Kim, thank you again. There is no precedent for that. What's the precedent for tanking? Usually people go to battle to prevent their economies from doing what we did to our own economy. Dr. Doom, Nouriel Urbani says that debt crisis is already here and a hard landing before year end is now baseline scenario. There are signs that debt crisis is forming. Well, of course there are signs that debt crisis is forming. You made people borrow on credit cards. I mean, who hasn't borrowed in this country, in every country in the world? Who hasn't gone into, unless you're like very wealthy, most people got into a great debt. Kim McGuire, y'all help a brother out if you can. It's a lot of work making these videos. Thank you, Kim. Greatly appreciated, Kim. Greatly appreciated. I'm very thankful, Kim, to have people like you watching and everybody here watching. It's really a blessing that I have an amazing, viewership. I really say this not because of the super chat, which I'm very thankful for, but I have the best, most, I would say, knowledgeable viewership. Everyone here possesses a great amount of wisdom. If you watch this channel, you possess a great amount of wisdom. You're not bound by political party per se. Although most people who watch, are voting for Trump or, want a great economy and a great anti-interventionist, anti-war foreign policy, which is, I think, very, very important. Democrats, never Trump Republicans, Lincoln Project Republicans, the morally superior liberals who are fantastic human beings who have no problem sending Americans anywhere in the world to fight and create this foreign policy, for example, under President Obama that destabilized not only Libya but other countries as well. And they're fine with that. Steppenwolf, hello. Camille, hello. Thank you again, Kim. Thank you so much. Greatly, greatly appreciated. Your support is greatly appreciated. My viewers are awesome. Let me tell you something. I've always had really, really good viewers that watch this channel because I think that they know that I'm not bound by a political party. If it was Tulsi Gabbard versus Mitt Romney, I would pick Tulsi Gabbard, even though I'm more conservative on certain issues. So, I'm not bound by a political party. I'm not vote blue or vote red no matter who. I think that's important. I think most people who watch this channel Thank you, Starmouse. I think most people who watch this channel are tired of the 1 million to 4 million sub CNN light channels. It's just, the same thing. You can watch CNN and MSNBC, then you can watch 1 million to 4 million sub channels, and it'll be the same exact thing. DD Win, thank you. Kim, thank you so very much. The average Trump voter, not just the viewers on this channel, the average Trump voter possesses greater critical thinking skills than the average Democrat. The average Democrat will believe anything that they're told about Trump. Okay? I'm not told anything about mashed potato brains Joe. I see him shake hands with ghosts. I see him ask where a deceased congresswoman is. I mean, you can't make these things up. Like, nobody is telling me Biden is working with the Kremlin. Nobody's telling me these things. I'm not believing them. I'm not like soaking it up. And, oh my God, really? You mean Clapper said that? Oh my God, treason, oh. I'm looking and I'm saying, oh, the economy is in free fall and tanking. That's critical thinking. Why didn't we? Critical thinking relates directly to asking questions. Why didn't we have an economic collapse under Trump? I mean, his last year in office, that was commandeered by all the people who caused this economic collapse. In 2019, we had a 10.5% poverty rate in this country. Kim, thank you again for your generosity. Thank you, Kim. Why is poverty up in Biden's third year to close to 15%? That's the basis of critical thinking. Okay? The critical thinking skills involve questions, like asking important questions, like, oh, by the way, who's the big man? When Hunter is saying, I give 10% of all my earnings to the big man. Who's the big man? Okay. Columbia University, poverty. Here, monthly poverty increased in June and elevated in July of 2022. It's over that right now. Okay. Ronald, hello. So we have a 14.7% poverty rate in this country. In 2021, you had left-leaning YouTubers talk about how Biden decreased childhood poverty rate. It has increased to 17, 18%. Far more than it was under Trump at 14%. And so you had a 10.5% poverty rate nationally under Trump. We have a 14.7 to 15% poverty rate. It's right here. And that's in August. It's gotten worse. Center on Poverty and Social Policy, Columbia University. I mean, you could give the morally superior liberal Democrats who look in the mirror every morning and say, God, I'm so morally superior for voting Democrat. You can give them this. You could say, poverty has increased under your watch. Why? Why has poverty increased? Why? Hopefully you weren't listening to this with earphones, but here, monthly poverty rates increased from May to June. The monthly poverty rate for the total population was 14.7%. It was 10.5% in 2019. It was 10.5% in 2019. It was 10.5% under Donald Trump. What did Trump do to people where they'd rather have poverty? I mean, how does it help you? How does it help you? You're stuck in poverty and at least Trump isn't tweeting. It's cold in the house. We have no food to eat. And then like Tiny Tim. But at least Trump isn't tweeting. God bless everyone. Oh, it's a wonderful Christmas. It's a fantastic Christmas. ICBMs flying above. BRX, hello. ICBMs flying above. Food shortages. But at least Trump isn't tweeting. I mean, what did Trump do to these people? CNN is a part of it. Ha ha ha! Dee Win, I Caroline. I mean, if Biden gave me more money and he prevented war, I would vote for him. I would say I don't care. He says hello to, he doesn't know people are deceased within his own political party. I mean, he might say, hey, where's Abe Lincoln? Huh? Come on now, where's Abe Lincoln here? Oh, what? How was the play, Mrs. Lincoln? What? Oh my God, he's not here? Oh my God. I wouldn't care if he said hello and I was wondering where, Abe Lincoln was. I don't know. I wouldn't care if he's shaking hands. Hey, you, come on, man, now. Oh, it's nothing there. Nobody's there. I wouldn't care. If he speaks in tongues and is like slurs his speech and I mean, it's like, how do we not, how is it that the world is okay with this? And if you listen to Joe Biden, what'll happen is you'll give him you'll spot him a couple words. He'll always be like, he'll always he'll say things kind of fast and slow and he'll in a muttering way and slurring his speech. And then you'll spot him a word or two. And we can't do this in a Republican democracy. And then about 3-4 words in there, you forgot a word, but you filled it in yourself and you're fine with it. Why would I vote for Biden? If Biden was Trump and Trump was Biden, I would have no problem voting for mashed potato brains. If we had a great economy with Joe and we had a great foreign policy, but did you see what Trump said? That the two countries had to work out their differences? Oh my God. Much better that there's a never-ending conflict. I mean, and you have to understand, they'll twist and sensationalize everything. What he said about McConnell's wife had to do with a business deal. Ronald Jarvis! Next will be aliens. Ronald Jarvis! Can I tell you something? They will blame Trump. Kim McGuire! Keep putting the truth out, brother. I believe soon this corruption will come to light. People are waking up. I think so also. Thank you, Kim, so very, very much. Greatly, greatly, greatly appreciated. I appreciate your generosity so much. Thank you. Ronald and Kim. Ronald, I think if aliens came, they would say that Trump, I was accused of bringing the Martians. I could tell you I don't have a Trump property in Mars. These people are absolute lunatics. You would have CNN, Ronald, saying that Trump wanted a property, a Trump Taj Mahal in Mars, and that's why he's selling the world to the Martians. It's all a plot. Kim McGuire, thank you so much, Kim. Greatly, greatly, greatly appreciated. Thank you. Thank you, Kim. They would blame, Kim and Ronald, they would blame Trump for the Martians. They would blame Trump for the Martians. And then in his speech, I'm working. My Donald has gotten better. In his speech, they would say, and he would say They're blaming me for the Martians. I didn't bring any Martians to the world. Ask Nancy Pelosi. They look like Pelosi. You can see the similarity. Maybe it's family. I don't know. It wasn't me. They're going to blame Trump for everything. And then you're like, this is like, Ronald, thank you. Kim, thank you. Thank you so much, Kim. They're blaming the man for everything. And then like CNN or MSNBC's, because their shtick, the act is dripping with like moral superiority and condemnation. So MSNBC has a couple journalists, quote unquote journalists, who are really good at like just spewing more moral condemnation. Do you think it's right? Reports have said that Trump is selling the planet to the Martians? Sure, we have ICBMs and a Great Depression again. A Great Depression 2.0 with everyone selling their cars for a basket of apples. But do you think that this is good that Trump made a prejudicial statement about the Martians? And nobody's condemned Trump's prejudicial statement about the Martians. Can you believe this? Can you believe he was selling the planet to the Mars? And then James Clapper, we have intel that shows that Trump was actually selling the actual Earth. And then Chuck Todd would be like, did you have evidence? Do you have evidence that he was... we don't have any actual evidence that he was selling the planet. But we have a report that says so. And they would believe it. You're voting for Trump! He's selling the planet! They would believe it. Nothing is safe. Don't bring up Trump during Thanksgiving. You're going to get the pumpkin pie thrown at you. Don't bring up Trump during Thanksgiving. It's not worth it. I don't care. Just eat and... Exactly, Miles. Just eat your food. Even if, you're eating and they're like, it's true that Trump, he sold nuclear launch codes to the Russians. Yeah, it's true. It's true. He's treasonous and he's a corrupt criminal. Just keep munching on the food. You don't need to defend Trump there. Okay? They are going to ruin every holiday. Don't bring it up. Just let them say anything they want. Family members, friends, it's all good. Don't bring it up. They'll leave the gizzards in. Don't bring up, and it could be like a birthday celebration. You could actually give your kidney. You could be like, I just gave my kidney to my closest friend of 50 years. And you could be like in the hospital bed with your best friend who you gave the kidney to. And then ABC News can do a story on you. Like, did you give your kidney to your best friend? Yes, I did. I love this person so much. And then you could say, and then the person who got your kidney could say, well, that's great, And also Trump stinks and he's horrible and he worked with the Kremlin. And you could say, after you've given the kidney to... No, he didn't. That's actually been debunked by Mueller. They found nothing. You know what? Your kidney stinks. I wish I never got your kidney from you. I wish I never had your anatomy inside me and you like Trump. I would rather be 6 feet under. I would rather be pushing up daisies than having anything to do with somebody who likes Trump, even if it means living. That's what's going on, ladies and gentlemen. That's exactly what's happening. This is like gone, like, you have to understand. DD Wind. You know, it's only gonna get worse. I mean, I've gotten the text messages from like 7 people. I just want you to let you know that you're on the wrong side of history. I mean, like, these are people who know nothing, like, don't know as much about history as I do. And I'm like, well, they've never read the New York Times. Only like in 2016, they started reading the New York Times. And they think like suddenly they know so much about politics. Like, well, you know what? Politics is a bit like music or food. It's a preference. And you have certain issues that you think are important. So it's like, you can vote for Biden, Clinton. I don't care. You know, I really don't care. Not a problem to me. Go vote for. But don't pretend you're morally superior, because there's a litany of examples. More people have lost their lives at the southern geographic region of our country trying to get into this country under Biden. But AOC doesn't care. So, I'm against never-ending counterinsurgency conflicts. I oppose that. I oppose the Lincoln Project people. The Democrats who think Trump's an authoritarian are okay with that. Secret spaceship, hello. Exactly. So, CNN, it's one thing to, and Kim, thank you again. Ronald, thank you. Kim, thank you so very, very much. Greatly appreciated. It's one thing to say that you don't like Trump. Fine. It's another thing to say, that he worked with the Kremlin and that he's a corrupt criminal. If you care so much about criminality, why would you vote? Why would you vote for Hillary or ignore Hunter? Or be okay with what Joe is doing? By the way, I want a Hillary Clinton, Donald Trump 2024. Oh, by the way, I'll have a very important short tomorrow. Definitely be on the lookout for that short. It's President Obama, in his own words, clearing Donald Trump of any crimes. There's classified and there's classified, says President Obama. And you will see, it's a very important. I have 20,000 views on my first short on here with James Comey. So you will love that short with President Obama. But ladies and gentlemen, I mean, we have Nouriel Roubini is the man. If you don't know who Nouriel Roubini is, please go ahead, look him up. He's absolutely the man. 40% fall in the stock market by year's end. And it's probably going to be before November. And it'll probably be like a couple of days before November 8th. By the way, we have a Durham probe trial October 10th, so it's like, not that anyone cares. Like, they used to be very, important for people, but because of Sussman, why did he start with that thing? My God. He probably, why did he start with that trial in the first, that was not the trial to start with. But anyway, 40% more. Wow. And you're going to get hedge funds to go on it. There are signs that a debt crisis has already started taking shape, and a hard landing in the economy before the end of the year is now baseline scenario. Roubini, who has earned the nickname Dr. Doom for his pessimistic views on market and the economy, has warned of looming debt and inflationary crisis for about a year. Previously predicted it would lead to a Frankenstein-style recession by the end of 2022, mixing the worst aspects of 1970 stagflation and 2008 financial crisis. Well, at least Trump isn't tweeting. At least Trump isn't tweeting. Sir Felix, hello. At least Trump isn't tweeting. Signs of strain in debt markets are mounting. The crisis is here, Rubini said, referring to recent moves by central bankers to stem market volatility. After being upended by a new national tax plan last week, the Bank of England began snapping up government bonds to stabilize its debt market. Additionally, high-yield bonds spread long-term bond rates, and another indicator of warnings that more volatility is likely, with the U.S. Treasury briefly topping 4% last week for the first time, 10-year Treasury for the first time since 2008. Wow. With Trump, it was record low for the first time since the 60s, for the first time since the 50s. With Biden, it's everything is record low since a record since high since 2008. Credit Suisse's credit default swaps are trading at record highs not seen since '08. Gee, wonder what that'll lead to. When you see a dorsal fin coming at you, it's probably not Flipper. You should probably try your best to swim in the other direction. But what Democrats do is like, oh, there's an iceberg. And then, speaking of climate, this emergency. Okay, if there's a consensus among the experts, do you think maybe there's some dissent from other experts, which there is, by the way? Matt, hello. Do you think maybe there's some dissent? 2A, hello. They're like, it's an emergency. Republicans don't seem to understand. Understand what? That we should all drive an electric vehicle and have the power grid go kaput and wait and charge the electric vehicle for 10 minutes while, we have to, in major cities like Los Angeles, you have to deal with just people roaming the streets. I mean, it is if you go on the streets in Los Angeles at night, it is like Mad Max. You had, people are, walking in the middle of the street. It's a scene from a movie. It's a scene from a movie. And not a very fun movie. I mean, I just don't understand, it's like... Ringin' Constitutional! It's been a while. Glad to catch you live. Thank you, Ringin'. Greatly appreciated. Yeah, it's Ringin'. I'm going to do another live stream. Kim, everybody here. Ronald, I'm going to do another live stream probably around 11 p.m. Pacific tonight. So I'll do another one at around 11 a.m. Pacific. Ringin' Constitutional. Thank you so much. By the way, if you want to be part of a newsletter or email update of when live streams will be, up and running, just send me your email and just say you want to be part of the newsletters to sign you up at contactgoodman88@gmail.com. So that's contactgoodman88@gmail.com. So if you want to sign up for that newsletter, I'll get that finally going. But exactly, Joshua, exactly. The thing is, thank you, Ringin' Constitutional, thank you. Kim, thank you so very much. Ronald, thank you. The thing here is, it's only going to get worse, and they don't care. So it really doesn't matter if there's a Great Depression, and a possible nuclear annihilation. They don't. It's the Democratic Party only wants to attain political power. They don't care about anything else but judging and condemning. They'll use emotion. And the thing is, the Republicans, in a way, they used to be like that. Now Republicans are actually very content with and so they've kind of switched personas. They really have. They really have switched personas. I mean, it's like a different. It's like the Bush, Cheney, and Rumsfeld people of 20 years ago are now the Democratic Party, but pontificating about different things. Donna, thank you, Donna. Thank you. But we're gonna have a 2008 type of financial collapse. It's not if, it's when these hedge funds, pension funds, these Wall Street firms buckle under the pressure of a world they helped create. It's actually a world that Democrats, morally superior among us, helped create. If you look, ladies and gentlemen, he talks about supply shocks, inflationary pressures the past several years, ultra loose monetary policy, shutdowns, and then they're going to, of course, blame everything on the invasion in Europe. But see, the invasion took place under Biden. So why didn't they try to avert that invasion? They did nothing to avert the invasion. Reagan Constitutional, thank you again. Thank you. Rodley 11, thank you. This stock market strategist says coming recession could be the biggest ever. I recommend prayer. Well, most Democrats are atheists, so they really have nobody to pray to. But this stock market strategist says the coming recession could be. At least Trump isn't tweeting anything bad. Anything bad is always. Anything bad is always accompanied by at least Trump isn't tweeting. I mean, what more do they need? What more do they need to realize they made a mistake? But see, again, like I said, they don't care. It's not about, they're not like you and me. Like, if Biden actually presided over a great economy like Trump did and a great foreign policy like Trump did and media didn't like him, I would say I don't care. Like, I have enough, integrity or confidence, self-confidence to just see things for what they are. So do you if you're watching this channel. We're not bound by some kind of tribalism, Exactly. Bring back the mean tweets, bring back American prosperity. Exactly. It's just unbelievable. When you're stuck watching CNN and MSNBC, the world that you see is such a dystopian, warped, fabricated, version of the actual world we live in. This is a world where anything, the economy is fine, and we're fighting against totalitarians in Europe, and Trump is a menace that the Democrats are trying to fight. Oh, they're just doing the God's work that they don't believe in, the work of a God that they don't believe in, so they're just doing good work. that just happens to exist within the framework of no religion. And in reality, we have a free fall, economy in free fall, inflation at 8 to 9%, poverty up, a stalemate in Europe that's only worse, getting worse and worse for the invading country, despite the constant spin, let's just say. I mean, like, people are losing money with mashed potato brains, Joe. They are losing money. At what point is that love trucks, the walls, the walls are closing in, the walls are closing in. At what point, Kim and Ronald and everybody here, ring constitutional, at what point will people realize you can vote for Trump and be moral? It's just fine. You don't need lessons on morality from people in Hollywood who bask in the epicenter of criminality, corruption, and immorality. M. Andre, thank you. Having a great economy is a very good moral thing to push for. Having a bad economy because you don't like Trump's personality is immoral. These people are like, and then they're like, a democracy. He's against democracy. He doesn't have to agree with you on anything. Somebody's opinion, even the opinion of half the electorate, has nothing to do with democracy. Democracy is upheld, number one, by the economy. First and foremost, if you have an economy in free fall where people are like, you're not going to have much of a democracy, which we're getting to, unfortunately. But democracy is upheld by courts, by the Supreme Court, by the same people they don't like after the Dobbs decision, by the same people that they want to just remove from lifetime appointments. Okay? So it's like when they don't like something, like they've done so many hit pieces on Judge Cannon, and because she ruled for Trump, and then they're the same people who are like, Trump's going after a judge, Trump's going after the courts, Trump lost. When Trump loses in court, they're like, oh, Trump lost in court. When he wins it in court, they're saying, oh, this is, experts say this is wrong. And then when the Supreme Court rules something, they say, oh, this is a terrible decision. And then when they lose, Stacey Abrams says, oh, no, I'm still, I'm actually governor. I mean, it's pretty unbelievable. We'll do 7 more minutes, ladies and gentlemen. But here, former President CNN for maliciously making false and defamatory statements about him. He's seeking $470. I mean, it is true. So, like, they want to defeat him politically. It's true, but he has to prove there's some kind of coordination, which isn't difficult, because you had journalists in 2016 meeting. DNC emails reveal, okay, cozy relationship with the press. And so here, off-record Manhattan parties, planting stories with friendly journalists. There you go. Planting stories with friendly journalists. I mean, it's like they're hiding in plain sight. The media is just basically hiding in plain sight. Leaked DNC emails. So here, BBC. Bill Clinton Inc. What Obama knew about Clinton Price, he did. Quid pro quo. Sanders is a doofus. And there you go. Clinton being fed a question during the debates. I mean, you could see there's like definite collusion between media and the Democratic Party. You have to prove it, though. You already have the emails from 2016, but of course, that's blasphemy to actually bring up what they wrote. 10 most embarrassing media failures. It all leads to articles, many of which are from CNN. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm running out of steam right now. I will be back at around 11 p.m. Pacific tonight. Please be here. I want to thank you so very much. Kim, thank you so very, very much. Ronald, everyone here, Ring, and everybody here. Kim, thank you again. So greatly appreciated. I appreciate your support and generosity. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll be back. Be here tonight at around 11 p.m. Pacific, everyone. Great live stream. Thank you so very much. Hope you enjoyed it.